All right, hello there, thrill seekers, and say hi to Ziggy. Hi, Ziggy. Hi, Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy, say hi. Ah, Ziggy, say hi. Okay, there he is saying hi. All right, I just wanted to do a very brief follow-up to my video from earlier this week where I was very critical of a person who presents himself as a precepted facilitator in the Soto Zen form of Buddhism. Something like that. I think that's what he calls himself. I had never heard of a precepted facilitator of Soto Zen Buddhism in the 40-odd years, more than 40 years, that I've been around Soto Zen Buddhism, but maybe there's some temple somewhere in the States that calls people that. I don't know what the hell it means. But presenting himself as that and then telling people they should go no contact, which is basically just cut off their family members because of who they vote for. And I just think that's a terrible thing to do. And it worries me that this sort of thing seems to be, it's a very radical example, and hopefully it's a rare example. I hope most Buddhist centers in America aren't going that far with it, although I can tell you some off the top of my head that I'm sure are going that far with it, but I'm just going to leave that out right now. But I know I know a few who are probably doing that. I think it's rare, though. But it is the kind of logical outcome of Buddhists who are telling their followers on Twitter. For example, a very famous Buddhist was telling her followers on Twitter that real Buddhists only vote for a certain candidate. And I swear to God, it wouldn't matter which candidate they were saying. I don't care. It's bad news to call that. Or the San Francisco Zen Center publishing something that the Dharma talk titled "I Hate Donald Trump." I guess the actual piece was about the futility of hatred or something like that, but look at the title. That's the thing. You wouldn't put out one titled "I Hate Kamala Harris." In fact, I'll probably get dinged by YouTube for even saying those words. But be that as it may, it's a kind of a toxic situation, and I feel like we're running into that a lot. And this is a problem. And I just wanted to talk about one of the things I learned as a committed sort of leftist. I was a member of Zero Defects. Our big song was "Drop the A-Bomb on Me." We were against Reagan. We were against everything the conservatives were for. Our main songwriter, Tommy Strange, was I think he called himself an anarcho-syndicalist, which I don't even know what the hell that is, but it's some kind of Marxist something, I think. I don't know. But he was very, very lefty. And coming out of that milieu and then moving to Japan and finding myself a politically conservative Buddhist teacher. I mean, I wasn't looking for that, but I found a Buddhist teacher who turned out to be a political conservative. And it was quite shocking. Now, I should say, as I always say when I bring this up, that Nishijima Roshi never made a big point of his political conservatism. He never mixed it with Buddhism. He was always very careful that whenever he got into anything political, he would say, "This is just my opinion." But people would try to engage him in political stuff back when we were doing those he would do these Saturday afternoon talks in Tokyo every week. And sometimes it would get into that, and he would express his political views. Again, always making sure to make a big distinction between that and Buddhism. But anyway, being the student of a teacher who was a political conservative was hard for me. But it made me kind of look at what political conservatism is. And what I realized is, as I think I just said, because this is my third try at making this video, I kind of screwed up the first two. But as I think I said in this version, conservatives need liberals and liberals need conservatives. If I didn't say that, that's the point of this video. And I started to see that. The first way I saw it, and the first sort of manifestation of it, I feel is a little bit shallow, but I'll bring it up anyway. It's just that we on the left tend to want to push for what we think is good social change, and we want it to happen. But a lot of us being very young, because that tends to the liberals tend to skew young, want it right now. When do we want change? When do we want it now? I don't know how the chant goes, but that kind of thing. And if you're pushing things too fast, even if they're the things that need to happen, even if they're the things that should happen, even if they're good things, if you're starting to push it faster than society is ready to handle it, it'll erupt in chaos and things won't be good and you'll end up going backwards. And so just for that reason alone, you need that conservative side to hold things from going too fast often. But the other reason is that we never have a complete view. We never have a complete understanding of any situation. As individual human beings, it's impossible. And our views and opinions are shaped by things that we have no control over. So if you're very proud of your political point of view, you shouldn't be, because it isn't even yours. If you actually took the time to examine any of your opinions on anything, especially when it comes to politics, you'd find that you're influenced by your parents, your family, or the people you've been around, the society you've been around, the experiences you've had, all of which are out of your control, and then you kind of end up being this thing. And I think it's good that there are people who are going to speak up for their point of view. But you have to be able to listen to the other point of view, because there's always something to be learned from the other point of view. Even if that point of view is kind of crazy, there's usually a reason for it, and there's usually something in there that you can learn from. And this is what I discovered and what I found extremely valuable, and it's something that, as we ramp up towards this election in the United States and the rhetoric gets hotter and everything gets crazier, I think we should always remember that. I think the best thing to happen for any government is for things to switch back and forth. Let the liberals have control for a while, let the conservatives have control for a while, let the liberals, and then let it keep going back and forth, because that's the only way everybody gets served, and that's the only way things go in a balanced direction, because we're all off balance, and the only way to find balance in politics is to let it teeter-totter back and forth. That's all there is to it. I mean, you have to remember that slogans are slogans. Political slogans are slogans. And none of the political slogans we're hearing have any more... They're cooked up by the same people who come up with Coke is the real thing, and, I don't know, Dodge trucks are Ram tough, and Kentucky Fried Chicken is finger-licking good. If you take them too seriously, you're a fool, and it's nonsense. So don't take it too seriously. That would be my other point of view. Somebody asked in the comments section if I was MAGA, and I thought that was funny, because I don't know what this person meant, but I would think if you were going to be MAGA, you would have to be somebody who was deeply committed to that guy and wanted to tell the world that you were a supporter of that guy and influence others to support that guy and vote for that guy. I am not like that. I am so uninvested in this election. It's people get mad at me just for that, but I just don't care enough about it to even try to influence anybody one direction or the other, because I don't care. And besides that, if you're worried about who I'm going to vote for, it doesn't matter. Number one, I don't think I've checked the box for president of the United States since the 1980s when I've been voting, because it just doesn't seem to make much difference. And the other is, I live in California, so I could write in Yosemite Sam and it would make just as much of an impact on the election as voting for any of the candidates who are actually on the ballot. So no, I am not MAGA. I'm just a person who's concerned with how Buddhism is being politicized these days, and I don't like it. All right, that's about all I had to say. I don't really have that much to say today, so I'm going to make this a short one. If you want to donate to me making more videos that don't have much to say, you can go to... Oh, Ziggy must have stepped on something because he's limping. We got these pokey things. We call them pokies. I don't know what they are, but they're little seed... Oh, there. We got Ziggy peeing on camera again. This is probably the third time in one of my videos you've seen that. Anyway, he must have stepped on something, and I'll get it after I do the video. Okay, what I was going to say is, if you want to donate to more videos of my dog peeing, you can go to the URL that you're seeing on the screen below, which is hardcorezen.info/donate. That is hardcorezen.info/donate. That's where you'll find my PayPal and Patreon account information, and that's my main way of making a living, but you don't got to support me if you don't want to support me. All right, we will see you next time. Have a good time all the time, and vote for whoever you want. I don't care, and neither does Buddha. All right, bye. to edit the video, all right?